There you go, Rugby League Three Quarters on Facebook. If you like a bet on Rugby League and you like to have a bit of banter and all the hackers and odds and all the rest of it, get yourself over to Rugby League Three Quarters and go and enjoy their community as well as the greatest online community of them all, Super League Raw. Right, this is where we left the league table at the end of round number 14, and the Saints and the Warriors now 22 points. The Warriors, the Wolves slipping back now. They're 2 behind the Robins, who look pretty chipper on the perch of number 3. Red Devils, of course, they're 5th. Dragons are 6th. Down there at the bottom now, a little bit of a gap between Hull FC and the Broncos. Can Hull FC back it up against the wire this week? Because these are the fixtures. The Tigers kick us off on Thursday night against the Robins. Oh, that should be a little belter. Looking forward to that one. Then the Warriors, well, they go up against the Broncos. Good luck, Mike Eccles, and the men down there. That could become quite painful, I feel. The Rhinos go up against the Leopards in what is bound to be an emotional, or possibly the game of the week, because a lot is riding on that for both sides, both on and off the field, you would think. But yeah, a very emotional. Sky, well done to Sky, starting the coverage half an hour early, 7 o'clock on Friday. There's bound to be not a dry eye in the house. Make sure that you watch that one. Then Hull FC welcome the Warrington Wolves at the MKM Stadium Saturday afternoon before the Dragons take on the Giants and bringing the curtain down. Another tasty little affair as the Salford Red Devils go up against the mighty Saints. Well, there you jolly well go, gentlemen. Not a bad-looking set of fixtures, I would say. Silence is golden. Let's move on. Right, okay, we'll start doing the analysis then, shall we? Let's go to the Casford Tigers taking on Hull KR. This kicks off our weekend of joy and merriment in Super League, and they can see since 2008 it's advantage to Hull KR, 15-13. The last 5 times these two have come head-to-head, it's 4-1 in the favour of Hull KR. That's an interesting one, isn't it? There you can see the form guide. KR, 4 wins out of 5, solid. Not too bad. It's been a lot worse over the course of the season than that for Casford, but they'll be looking to bounce back at the Jungle. 3rd against 10th. There's a massive difference between them in terms of attack and defence. The odds, as you would expect, going the way of the Robins. Only Saints have scored more tries this season than KR. Saints have scored 73, KR 69. And as we know, KR love to run from deep. 79 clean breaks thus far in the 2024 season from the Robins. Right, let's get into a little bit of team news on this one. Here they come. Here it is. There it is. These are the teams they're in. Of course, it's a Thursday night game, so they've already announced the squads. 2 changes from the team that took on Wigan for Castleford. You'll see there, Muraz Mustafa, he's been named in place of Sammy Kibula, and Joe Westerman is a welcome return, albeit it is at the cost of Liam Watts. James Batchelor, well, he's out because of a hamstring injury that he picked up with the win over Huddersfield. And as you can see there as well, Matt Parcell is also out for the Giants game this weekend. Joe Burgess, though, is a welcome return to the squad. And Zach Fishwick is the other man that comes in to the 21-man squad. So that's basically how they are looking. You'd have to think that fortune favours Hull KR this week. Get in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, who you think to win this one. Gentlemen, they're the squads. Let's get into a bit of a debate. Greg, I'm going to start with you. Can anybody stop the red breast getting redder at the Robins?
Well, they're wearing pink, so they may well do. I think that red breast is running the wash. No. In a word.
There's no Daz.
Tissue paper in the wash.
If only they could pick Purcell. Oh, baby, there, get it. Oh dear God. I'll surf right out of here. Go on, carry on. Go on, mate. Go on. Go on.
Disastrous, that. Disastrous.
You don't get this on. You don't get this on other, dare I say it, straight laced podcasts. Oh no, only here. Only
you won't get Eddie and Steve-O doing this.
You wouldn't. Come on, give us some comfort. Come on, get on with it. Right,
anyway,
go on. Go.
Like the comedians in 1971. What was I saying?
You were going to tell us about OKR taking on Castleford at the Jungle and your thoughts on the game, sir.
That was right. I think Castleford did really, really well against Wigan. I thought they were really I thought they were lucky in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Hull, like you say, like we spoke earlier about, Hull KR at this point in time are a really good attacking side. I don't think Hull KR will have it all their own way, but I see a 9-17 win for Hull KR.
Hull KR 9-17. Yeah. Okie dokie. Steph, how do you see this one?
Yeah, I think since Castleford have brought those young lads in, they've been a different side for me. Hell of a lot more competitive, and they seem like they want to be playing for each other now, which is great to see for the competition, isn't it? It's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think that was a fantastic effort against Wigan. I know they were coming off the back of the Challenge Cup, but what an effort that was. And on that pitch, they are a dangerous team, but you just can't look past Hull KR at the moment for me in terms of how good of a team they are, especially attacking. Ryan Hall obviously getting his breaking the record at the weekend, which was fantastic to see. What a player he's been for Super League. But yeah, for me, I think it is going to be a really competitive game, but I do see Hull KR running away with it in the last 20, so I've gone 9-17 as well.
Well, Dawn Kirby, we wouldn't expect anything less from you, Dawn. She's not watching the England game. Forget the round ball. Get the oval one on. She's going to watch it at the Jungle, and rightly so. Callum Calvary's gone KR 1-8. Phil Hunt, KR 9-17 in the chat. People are still basking in the glory of some quality soap powder moments. Josh Grimes, Hull KR 1-8. Peter Mason, Hull KR 30 points to 10. Robert Hickson, KR 1-8. Rovers 8-16. Come on, Craig. I know you're new, mate, but we don't do 8-16. We do 9-17. Nicola Burtonwood does 9-17. Craig Rigby 1-8. You'll get there, Craig. You'll get there. Don't you worry about that. It's great to have your company. Joe Dalgreen 18+ KR, and I'm in a complete agreement with Joe. I think that KR are that good at the minute. Yes, they were good against Wigan. Castleford, they give him a right good tussle. Can they back it up 2 in a row? I don't think they can, and I think KR are going to destroy him. And now Hawley has got that little monkey off his back where the tries are concerned. Wouldn't surprise me to see Sir Ryan Hall of Hull Kingston Rovers Shire go over for a hat-trick this weekend. It just would not surprise me one little bit. So I'm going there. Joel Scholes, he's going KR 9-17. I've not had the chance to collate, been a mad week this week, the fans forum votes. That will be done, and I will post them on our Facebook page tomorrow. I will collate all of the fans forum ones, and you'll see what the consensus of opinion has been, albeit the consensus of the fans in the chat tonight suggests that KR will probably be where they go. Anybody else lost volume, John Wilkinson has said. Is everybody getting me loud and clear? Just give us the thumbs up. I would hope everybody's okay. You're the first to mention that, John. Hopefully not, sir. Right, okay. We move swiftly on. Where are we going next? We're going Wigan London. Wigan London next. Right, here it is. Wigan against London. Right. I don't think we refresh the page. What you say, Callum, don't joke, my friend, don't joke. Right, head to head. Wigan against London. History since 96, no surprises. 32 wins to 11. Yeah, I might surprise some people, actually. 11 there, yeah. Going to London Broncos. In the last 5, 4-1. There you go. London's last win was round number 4 of the 2019 season at the Trailfinders, 18-16 in a shock result. Incredible stuff. Incredible. There's the form. Wigan 5 from 5. That win against the FC just hanging on there for London in the last 5 for the form start. Second take, play 12. Again, an absolute gulf in the forward against. They're not taking bets on the Wigan Warriors. Who can forget the Cherry Red Stadium early in the season where Wigan did them 60 points to 22. Jaifield out. London are expected to be without Dean Parata, Jack Campagnolo, but they think that McCarney may return for this. And as Greg reminded me before we went on air, Natoli and Kennedy are banned on this one. Oh, hey up, there you go. Debbie Ruand is we have an infiltrator trying to do dodgy streams. That just to let everybody know, whilst Greg and Steph are talking about Wigan against London, you know exactly what's coming. You people who watch Super League Raw, she's about to leave the building. Right, over to you, Steph. You crack on, sir, while I get rid of our intruder.
It's not very often we get infiltrated, is it?
Well, I love a good infiltration.
Well, to be fair, I mean, that probably made this one a bit more interesting to talk about. Yeah, I'd love to be sitting here saying, "Oh, London have got a chance." They haven't, have they? You know, it's going to be it's going to be a massacre. Wigan 18 plus.
Wigan 18 plus, right? Okie dokie. I'm just trying to get hold of our Debbie. Carry on, Greg. You get in there.
Don't let me stop you, Dave.
Absolutely.
You know, has this got a potential to be the shocker of the season so far? No, not in a month of Sundays. Yeah, Wigan 18 plus. Wigan could put their reserve side out and still win this by 18 plus. And again, that's no disrespect to London in any way, shape, or form. The reserves are just that good.
Yeah, it's more credit to Wigan, isn't it? More credit to Wigan.
The reserves are just that good. You know, the Jack Faribons and the players like that of this world are still just that little bit better than Wigan. So, yeah, unfortunately, Wigan 18 plus.
And Debbie has gone. Bye, Debbie. Anyway, that's how quick it happens, I'm afraid. We don't promote dodgy streams here at Super League Raw. We have a community to look after. Not happening. Just simply not happening. Right, sorry, Greg. So we're all going Wigan by 1-8, yeah?
Not London 18 plus, mate. No, you
I don't
dropped out there, Dave. What did you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, everybody's probably going there. There you go, Les. That's definitely disrespectful. To us, I would hope you were saying absolutely right. Right, okie dokie. Or maybe he was talking about how disrespectful we've been to London. I don't know. Let us know in the chat.
Being totally respectful to Wigan in the fact that their reserves are that good, they would still beat London quite handsomely.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. We're not going to prolong that one. I think it's quite straightforward. We all expect the Wigan Warriors to come through against the London Broncos. Right, we now go to potentially the game of the round. I think this is a real beauty. 7th against 9th. We said that Lee need to keep ticking off these teams that are just above them in the table to get into that top 6. This is another one of those. We know that Leeds at the moment are fragile. We know that Lee are getting into a bit more form. Stef, very briefly over the top. Is it still expected that Asiata and Malone will come back after the international break?
Yeah, it's the Wigan game. I think they're due back for, but whether Penne will make his appearance in this one, that'll
be interesting. That'll be interesting. Maybe from a combination perspective, they might want to have an extra week with him in training. We'll wait and see. It'd be nice to see him, though. But there you can see 8-2 since 2005. The last 5, though, 3-2. Lee won it heading in last year. You'll remember the week before Wembley, 13 points to 6. But this season, Leeds got the bragging rights at the LSB in round number 4, 22 points to 16. Don't forget, that was 16-0 to Leeds. They absolutely blew Lee away in the first half. Got a really good lead on. And then Lee started to come back. Steph, don't go back over old ground in terms of getting the violin out of things that happened that night that you weren't happy with. If anybody wants to know what Steph thought of that, go back to the archives and watch Super League Raw Weekly after round 4. Absentees, both teams expected to be the same as they were last round, but as Steph there quite rightly says, maybe, just maybe, the pasta man himself might be in. The attacks, very, very similar, but don't forget, Lee have played one less game. Lee a superior defence, but again, factored that in again that they have had one less game. So if you were going to round it up, maybe an extra 14 or so points there on the Leopards against, but it would still be a lot better than the Leeds Rhinos currently. 21-10 the Rhinos, 5-6 favourites the Lee Leopards. We'll come to Steph last, like we always do, Greg, on when it's Lee. So over to you, Mr. Nixon. What's your thoughts?
This is an interesting one. And I'm not going to talk too much because I know Steph likes to wax ridicule over Lee. So I think, and he's been on his jollies. God bless him. Absolutely. I think that Lee are going to win this 1-8. Sorry, Steph. And this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Rowan Smith will be gone before Leeds play again.
So what are you going score-wise, mate?
1-8, Lee.
1-8. So you still seen it quite tight then?
Quite close, quite tight.
Yeah, you are seeing it quite tight.
Yeah, but I think Lee will win, and it will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Rowan Smith will go after this game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Before we come to meet Mr. Sale, let's take a quick look in the chat. Craig 4th, Lee 9-17. Robert Hickson, Lee 1-8. Nicola Burton, would you want to expect anything less? 9-17 to the Leopards. I hope you're going to be with us tomorrow for the quiz, Miss Burton. Would it would not be the same without you. Dawn, Rhinos Unrest. Dawn, I've still not got your email address. You're missing out on tickets for the quiz. You need to send it me so I can give you your tickets. Laura Evans 1-8 to Leeds. Hey, Laura Evans, there you go. Bit of love for the Rhinos. Green going Lee 9-17. Paul Bourbon lead by 20. Dawn 1-8 Lee. That's Dawn Kirkby. Alan David Meadows. Beautiful. Hello to you, Alan. First time I've seen you in the chat. Lee by 10. Josh Grimes 9-17 to the Leopards. Pete Mason going Leeds 8. Lee 26. Always precise is Mr. Mason. Phil Hunt. Lee 18 plus. Yeah, so there you go. And Don Kirkby hoping that Smith keeps his job until after the Rovers play him. That's a big thing. Yeah. If you don't mind me saying. My view on this, I do think emotion's going to play a part. I think at the moment there's a lot of disjointed efforts in the Leeds team at this moment in time. I thought the tribute to Robert Hull FC, I thought Harry Newman and Cam Smith were going to lose it. I really did. So I've got real genuine concerns for some of these Leeds lads at Headingley on Friday where emotion's concerned. Because if you're on the brink at the MKM, imagine the atmosphere, the emotion at Headingley on Friday night. It's going to be so hard for them lads. It really is.
Especially if Rob's family are going to be there as well. In the same field.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. I think I posted it on our Facebook feed that, Lindsay Burrow was out campaigning again for MND this weekend. So I think, again, the strength of the lady is incredible. So it would not surprise me to see Lindsay Burrow, the kids and the family.
I mean, obviously, we'll probably see a lot of his old teammates there as well.
I would agree. The likes of Sinfield and the likes. Yeah, do you know what, Greg? You're spot on. Like I said, and what we know about Leeds, we do it right. In this sport, we do it right. So that's going to be one hell of a tribute at Headingley on Friday night. I'm really looking forward to watching it, I have to say. I wish I wasn't watching it. Of course I don't. But it will be a fitting tribute to Rob. And like I say, from a playing perspective, I just question, can they use it as fuel? And I don't know if they've got that in them to use it as fuel. I think, for example, and I'd go as far as to say this, I think that if you look at, for example, a Wigan team, Wigan at the moment, a Saints team at the moment, probably only those two, really. If this was Wigan at the weekend, I think because they've been there, done it, got the T-shirt and the culture of the club and the rest of it, I think somehow they would use it as fuel. I think Saints would be the same. But I question, have Leeds got it in them to use that emotion positively in an 80-minute game of rugby league? I really don't know. And do you know what? My heart goes out to him because no player who had a connection with Rob, who's wearing a Rhino shirt on Friday, will find that easy.
It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be so hard. So because of that, I think that's a real problem for him. The form isn't great either. We know that. And Lee are on the rise. You go, can they back up? I mean, that's the question. Can they back up? They did this, didn't they, earlier in the season against Catalan? I'm just trying to remind myself, who did you play after that, Steph? You played Castleford and you drew, 28 all. So, a big question here for Lee is, can you go and back it up? 2 great wins against Catalan. To only concede 4 against Catalan in 2 games. Phenomenal. Can they go and back it up? And if they get, I think, a Lee Leopards team firing at 85%, I'll show some respect to Leeds. A Leeds team firing at 85% on Friday will be good enough. That's my view on this. I'm going Lee 9-17. Schofield's gone Lee 9-17. Joel's gone Lee 9-17. Steph, tell us about Leeds.
Well, I'll tell you about Lee first. Six weeks ago, you said to me Lee had to go on a run. And they've won 4, they've drawn 1, and they've lost 1. They're probably now in the top 3 form sides in Super League in terms of results. So that's where Lee are at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably one of the biggest occasions Lee are going to play this season. There's going to be 20,000 people at Headingley. It's going to be a massive, huge occasion. You know, they've gone.
Steph, at the risk of interrupting you, I think this, for those Leeds players and for those Leeds players, will be a moment in their career that they will never experience again.
100%.
It's going to be that big of an occasion. This is something that they'll be telling the grandkids about, mate.
Yeah, and this is what I was going to get onto in terms of I wanted to get Lee out of the way first in terms of where Lee are. You know, we've took a lot of grief from people this season, and rightly so. You know, we've underperformed. We've had a lot of injuries, but you can't use injuries as an excuse. But what we can say now is what I've been saying all season is that this Lee team have been very, very close. Even when we've lost, the only team that's absolutely put a score on us is Wigan. It's the only one. And they're still the only team since we came up last year that we've not beaten. So that's the monkey we've got to get off our back. And I think we will do that this season at some point. But this all pales into insignificance for me. This game is bigger than the result. And I don't care if we get beat by 40 in this one. I'm going to be at Headingley on Friday night, and I'm going to be there because of Rob Burrow. Not to watch Lee. Of course, I'll be there to watch Lee, but it's a moment thing. Yeah, I'm taking my daughter to go and probably witness something that is bigger and transcends the sport, and it's going to be incredibly emotional. I honestly do not give a hoot about the result. I don't care because it's bigger than that. What it is for me is we've took nearly 2,000 people to Catalan, which was an amazing occasion. How privileged are Lee that we get to go and share this occasion with the Leeds fans, and for me that's something very, very special. And you know, when Lee came to Super League, these are, you know, moments we could have dreamed of, you know, going playing Wigan away, going playing Warrington away, St Helens. But how privileged are we to get this, and how lucky are we in the awfulest of circumstances that we get to go and share this occasion with the Leeds fans.
Do you know, I'm not sure if Alex Sharp's taking the mick there or if it is 42,000. Does Headingley hold 42,000?
No, it's 20,000. It's 20,000.
Yeah, he's taking the mick over the 42,000 Wigan tickets at Wembley. Okay, I had a feeling that's what he was doing there with the 42,000 jibe. But he's saying 21,000. No, mate, 21,000. Only 100 tickets in the South Stand are left, which is absolutely outstanding.
That's a great point. What someone just made, Robert, in the thing as well. The irony of it is that Rob's first ever game was that he watched Lee v Leeds, and he actually misunderstood. He was a bit confused because they both sounded the same. So the irony that it's fell on this as well is not lost. But
so what score are you going, Chief?
Leeds 1-8.
Leeds. What, you're going Leeds 1-8?
No, well, no.
You're going Lee 1-8.
I was going Lee 1-8.
You're going Leeds.
I'm going to go Leeds 1-8.
Changing your mind at the 11th hour. Well, all I will say on this, and Peter Mason's giving you a big clap there, mate, which is a nice touch from Pete. There it is. There's your claps. Count them. But I'll tell you what's interesting. You know, I don't know who your God is, but if Leeds somehow was to win this game, I think somebody upstairs would be there on the field in spirit, driving them home. Let's put it that way.
Unless he wants Rowan Smith sacked.
Unless he's seen bigger picture. Greg. Anyway, but no.
Look, be all trying to be.
Yeah, I feel, look, at the end of the day.
Steph, a brilliant sentiment, Steph, and we all agree with you. 100%,
absolutely, 100% outstanding. Right, there's quite a few people. I'm getting messages here. There's quite a few people that consider becoming a member is the best way of getting a free ticket to the quiz. Why pay for a quiz when you can become a member and come to the quiz for free every month? Happy days. So just so that you know how you can, this is how you can become a member. He says.
Are inviting you to become part of the fastest growing online community in Rugby League. Your contribution will enable us to continue to improve our current programs.
Is everybody having a bit of problems with that, Greg? It's a bit fuzzy my end.
It was like Max Headroom, mate.
So it wasn't good. But try again.
Are inviting you to become part of the fastest growing online community in Rugby League. Your contribution will enable us to continue to improve our current programs and allow us to develop more so that you can enjoy Rugby League 7 days a week. Our 3 membership tiers provide everyone with an opportunity to create new friendships and experiences with like-minded Rugby League enthusiasts. 18th man membership. You will be supporting the work we do and contribute to our ongoing development. You will be entered into every prize draw as well as our monthly online quizzes. You will also have the opportunity of winning a season ticket by entering a team into the Super League Raw Mini Fantasy League. And you will also get a car window sticker to show that you're a part of this community. 6 again members. You will have increased entries into our prize draws and fantasy leagues. You will have increased shout-outs during Super League Raw every single week. You will have access to the Super League Raw WhatsApp group where you can talk with other members every single day. You will have 1 week advanced screening of our latest In Conversation With, and you will also have 3 invitations to the Final Whistle podcast recordings where you can have your say on the week's action. You will also be invited to a pre-game drink with Greg and I before your team's Warrington Wolves game at the Halliwell Jones. Team Talk membership. You get the maximum 3 entries into our prize draws and into our fantasy league. You will also have the opportunity to submit your question to the latest In Conversation guest, and you will be invited to every Final Whistle podcast where you will become a star of the show alongside the Super League Raw team. Membership starts from as little as £2.99 per month, so why not substitute a latte for 7 days of Rugby League analysis and entertainment? Don't hesitate. Visit Patreon now and become a part of the fastest growing universal Rugby League community online.
So there you go. That gives us the opportunity of nipping to the little boy's room and all the rest of it. But no, absolutely seriously, there you go. There they are. Go to our Patreon website, become a member, become a part of this community. What isn't mentioned there, and this is mentioned quite a lot, especially in the WhatsApp group, we're seeing photographs of people that have never met each other in their lives, that support different teams, meeting up before games, having a beer in the friendship of Rugby League.
Yeah.
That's what Super League Raw has delivered as well. That's the bit that people aren't seeing an awful lot of, but we're seeing it on the WhatsApp group. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. You know, having a beer with fans before games. See, Steph. Having a beer with fans before games is, you know, we've met some fantastic people over the last 2 or 3 years, and I really want to grow that because it's really good.
It's marvellous, mate.
And it's what we're all about. We're not football fans. We're not. You know, we get on with other fans of other teams, and we have a beer with them, and we have a chat with them, we have a laugh with them, and that's what it's all about. That's what sport is for me.
The community we're building is literally second to none, and no more so than, you know, we rang on every the WhatsApp group and stuff like that. Some of the moments we've shared this season has been just outstanding, and I encourage everyone to, you know, get on board. And in 3 days' time, hopefully Matthew Sale will be.
Yes, Matty's birthday present is on the way. But yeah, no, absolutely, it's been absolutely wonderful. And as Debbie found out tonight, we're very fussy on who's in our community.
I mean, Robert upset me. He said we were breaking up. I didn't know what I'd done to upset him, but
no,
apparently it's the sangria. So
yeah,
I'll forgive you, Robert.
No, we're not breaking up. Well, let's get back into the predictions, and let's now go to the MKM Stadium and look at those odds. I think they're a lot shorter than they would have been a few weeks ago. As you see, the head-to-head since 1998 is Warrington, 36-24. And the last 4 out of the last 5 have gone the way of Warrington. But who can forget Magic Weekend 23, 30 points to 18. The Josh Griffin hat-trick. You MKM Hull FC fans will be delighted to remember that one. Of course, this year they have faced each other twice. Warrington beating them twice at the Halliwell Jones. Who can forget the first game in round 2? The new Browns sending off controversy, 36 points to 10. And of course, the Josh Fulis masterclass in round 10. 20 of the 24 points went the way of Josh with a 24.6 win for the Warrington Wolves. So let's see. No word on any ins and outs to their squad. Probably more outs than ins. I don't expect many to return this week. Hopefully they've had a clean bill of health from the Leeds Rhinos game for them. As for the Warrington Wolves, bad news. No Williams, no Fitzgibbon, and no Pulis. That is bad news for Warrington. They will remain out until after the international break. As you can see, Warrington were doing quite well, but they've lost the last 2, as well as the Challenge Cup final. So that's 3 on the bounce. And like I say, big moments these for Sam Burgess. 4th plays 11th. Attack, defence, again, very heavily weighted in the Warrington Wolves' favour. But of course, form is temporary, class is permanent, or is class not permanent and form isn't temporary? I don't know. This is going to be really interesting indeed. Come to Greg last. Steph, will come to you first. This is a big moment, I think, for Warrington. I said they were at the crossroads in the early section of tonight's show when we were talking about the Warrington Wolves. I think they need to win this, or else, quite frankly, 2 weeks is a long time without a game. And we know that the media will probably have a field day. They build people up to pull them down. It's got a lot of positive press, Sam Burgess. If he doesn't win this, that could just turn a little.
I 100% agree. And you've said to me a few times this season, Lee need to win this. Warrington 100% need to win this. Yeah. You know, this is a huge game for Warrington now. You know, obviously the difference in the sides in terms of league tables massive, but you know, Hull have had a great result there against Leeds. You know, and played really well. You know, they're starting to get a bit of confidence back. You know, Warrington. You know, the form is not the best at the moment. So if Warrington want to have ambitions of being a top 4 side, you know, a home playoff side, this is 100% a must-win game for me. I do think that even with the players that Warrington have got out, you've got the players to win it. I do think it's going to be a bit of a closer game than what people think. Like I say, I think Hull are playing pretty decent rugby at the moment. But I have gone Warrington 9-17. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit closer than that.
9-17 the wire, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Greg, I'm going to come to you, mate. Are you concerned? And Graham Parrish is saying it. Yeah, Jed Cartwright is expected to make his debut. Apologies, forgot about that one. You're quite right. Jed Cartwright, Billy Steed as well, is on the screen as well there, saying exactly the same thing. So that's good news for Hull FC. Go on, Greg, your thoughts?
Oh, this is a difficult one. 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'd have had Warrington 18+. And as Steph says, this is, you know, I had a few pelters thrown at me when I said the London game early doors would tell us where Warrington were. And that wasn't that Warrington would lose to London. It was just the performance they put in. And this is another one of those games which will tell us what kind of Warrington team we have, whether we've learned, whether we've progressed, whether we're a different team than we have been under the last couple of head coaches. And it was, I have been back into this one, a Hull win, a Warrington win, a Hull win. We've got a lot of influential players out, and I would still, even though those players were out, I would still leave Matt Duffy out this week and put Taylor Ray in. I'll put Aaron Lindop on the wing. I'll bring Lindop in instead of Wrench and put Ty into the centres. I've got to be loyal, and I've got to say Warrington 9-17. But I would not be surprised after that performance against Hull and the players that are coming in and the young players that Hull have brought through and the fact they're settled, that I would not be surprised if Hull won, but I've got to go Warrington 9-17.
Well, There you go. And for those of you who have just joined us, yes, Greg did mention London. Welcome to the Rocky Horror Picture Show with Greg Nixon as Richard O'Brien. Let's do the time warp. We're all the way back to London Broncos at home. Unbelievable. Only here at Super League Raw. Anyway.
What you're on about me hair?
As well. Anyway, yeah, so let's get into Stenny. Let's get into the chat. FC 1-8, Gary Schofield. Joel's going wire 1-8. I'm going wire 9-17. Let's give some shout outs to John Wilkinson, wire 12 plus. Craig Rippey, Super League Raw member, wire 18 plus. Craig Forth, wire by 12, become a Super League Raw member. Craig Robert Hickson, wire 1-8. Laura Evans, wire 1-8. Dawn Kirby, wire 9-17. Peter Mason wanting to get a candle out with you, Stef, on the 5th for a beer at the Brick. There's an invitation not to be missed in the chat. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Only where we got Jeff Gavite playing, Nicola Burton would 9-17.
John Costello.
Yeah, John Costello, yeah, 1-14 wire win. Graham Parrish also going FC by 12. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
I think that has got potential to be game of the week as well as the league game.
There's a lot riding on it. I think those two games, there is a lot riding on both of them. I would agree with that. I really, really would.
I think those two are the closest two games to call, if I'm being honest.
Well, let's just throw a little spanner into the works, shall we? Let's go to Perpignan as we go to the Dragons against the Giants now, ladies and gentlemen. This is an interesting little tickle, isn't it? The Dragons are 25-19 in the favour of the Giants since 2006. But look at that. The last 5, 4-1. To the Huddersfield Giants. At the moment, they're both in probably similar form, very, very close in the table. Not an awful lot separating them in the for and against. The defence stronger at the Dragons. Dragons go into this as favourite. The last win for the Dragons against the Huddersfield Giants was in round 20 of 2022 season, and they only won by a point, 13 points to 12. In the last 10 meetings in all comps, it's 7-3 the Giants. Who can forget the Challenge Cup this year? 34-6 win in Perpignan by Huddersfield Giants. The last 5 games, the average winning margin between these two has been 9. Wow. Wow, what a game this could be. Catalan's no new injury concerns have been released, albeit we do understand that Luke Yates has been added to the sideline. That's a big blow for Huddersfield. Cudjoe also not expected to feature in this. But yeah, those of you out there who probably would be thinking, probably Catalan this, Huddersfield have got a phenomenal record against the Catalan Dragons. So with that lovely little curveball coming in, get your bat out. Let's have a strike. Where are you going? Stef, we'll come to you first.
I think, like when I've said to people that the playoffs is 100% wide open, then this is why it is. Because if you look at these two teams, both playoff contenders at the moment, I've got 1 win in 5 between them both. You know, it's they've just gone completely off a cliff, both of them. In terms of form, so that's why, and it's brilliant for the competition. Absolutely brilliant for the competition in terms of making the second half of the season more exciting. In terms of this game, you know, it could 100% go either way, couldn't it? You know, who knows what Huddersfield team are going to turn up? They've already gone there this season. It was the Challenge Cup, wasn't it, where they put a real big score on Catalan. So who knows? I think what I would say is that having just been there, Catalan's defensive display was great. You know, they defended against us really, really well. So I think they will nullify Huddersfield in that respect. And it's more for me about how much Catalan can come to the fore in terms of attack. I think McNamara, looking at the local press in my broken French thingy in the newspapers the other day, we're having a bit of a go at McNamara. So I do see a bit of a reaction coming here, and I think they have to put a performance in. So I do apologise to my Huddersfield friends, but I have gone Catalan 9-17. I think there is going to be a bit of a reaction from them this weekend, and it's also going to be really, really hot. as well, which also played. We were quite lucky this weekend in terms of on Saturday it was quite overcast and it wasn't as hot as it can be over there. I do believe the weather is going to be a bit scorchio this weekend, which will play definitely into Catalan's hands. That's why I've gone 9-17 Catalan.
Good man. Well, Reggie, as Steph quite rightly says there, around the Catalan attacking prowess this season. Not since James have we seen anything as blunt as Catalan at the moment, mate. Your thoughts?
I'm going to have my Huddersfield friends dancing in the streets because I've gone for Catalan 18+.
Never, mate. If that, I tell you what, mate. In fact, actually, Catalan, that's Saturday. We're out Saturday. We're out. We'll be watching that game together. 18+. Mate, I will be the first to bite you a beer if they beat Huddersfield by 18+.
Fans are now arranging street parties as we speak for Saturday.
Where's my invite? We didn't know you were going out, was it?
I mentioned it to you. Don't stay there. I mentioned it to you. And you said because of the bank balance with all your trips, Judy.
Voting abroad. So.
Yeah, Judy was down there. Mate, if you want to come, you can come.
I'll be there.
You and Mrs. Sale, mate, more than invited to come and enjoy the hospitality.
You did. I'll take that back. You did invite.
I know I did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did mention it to you. Don't give me that. Anyway, okay. So in the chat, let's have a look at this now. Where are we? Dawn Kirby's gone Huddersfield 1-away. Giants do well against the Dragons. Absolutely, Dawn. We've just seen that. Dawn Baker. Craig Forth, Dragons 1-8. Huddersfield 9-17. Laura Evans. Peter Mason, as always. 30 points to 4. He's going with you, Greg. He's going with you. Nicola Burnwood, 9-17. The Catalan Dragons. Will Abdul play, says Don Kirby. You know what? I couldn't believe he didn't play against Lee. Couldn't believe it. Because Farge, for me, if you're going to drop either of them, Farge, for me, has offered nothing all year. I've just got to say it. He's offered nothing.
You're right.
At least Abdul's got a kicking game. At least he can influence a game. I've not seen any influence from Farge as he gets man of the match on Saturday. But anyway, that's another story. But I'm going to go Catalan 1-8, and the reason I'm going Catalan 1-8 is Huddersfield are also in pretty poor form, but I'm going to respect Huddersfield's form. Huddersfield's form has been pretty good against Catalan. Respect that, but I'm going to go Catalan.
I also think Huddersfield.
I think as long as Ken Davey, God bless him, is with us, I don't foresee any issues. But I do think there will come a day where those relations aren't there. I think Ken's a big pull. I think a lot of people got a lot of respect for Ken Davey, and rightly so. I don't see anything happening with Ken Davey at the helm. But if that was to change for any reason, that could be interesting. I hope not, but it could be very interesting. Right, okay.
As long as Huddersfield get a stadium.
Can't afford one.
That can house Rugby League and ensure they stay in Super League. That might be beneficial, a smaller stadium.
Well, you agree.
They need a Huddersfield sports village. They need
12,000
LSV.
Yeah.
But back to matters on the field, gentlemen. If the Giants were to turn over the Dragons, they would only be 2 points off the Dragons, and that would tighten it up very much in the middle. Probably wouldn't do you any harm either, I think, that game, Steph. That's one of those where you win either way, really, is what I would say on that one as a Lee Leopards fan. The final game of the weekend, we'll see the Salford Red Devils take on Saints. Don't count out Salford. It'd be very foolish to count them out, such as the way they play. But look at that. Since 97, 48-10 advantage, St. Helens. Wow. But 3-2. 3-2 the last 5 meetings. As you can see there, Salford in great form. That with Saints is wrong. I do apologise. Don't know what's happened there. When you're rushing, putting things together, these little slip-ups happen. But let me just quickly work this one out. They have won. Hang on a minute. Oh, no, that's wrong. They've won the last 4. They've won the last 4. They lost the 5th one. So it's 1 loss, 4 wins on the spin. Salford's is correct. Right. The advantage on the scoring goes with Saints. No surprises there. And, of course, the defence goes the way of Saints as well. 2-5 on Saints. Fair play. 21-10, the Red Devils, which is interesting. Since 2012, though, at the Salford Community Stadium, it's 8-4. So when you look at 48-10, you're thinking big advantage Saints, but no. The last 12 meetings at the Salford Community, it's 8-4 to Saints. That narrows it a little bit. 2024, who can forget the beautiful Tim Lafay offloaded Dion Cross at the Totally Wicked Stadium. One of the moments of the season. Anyway, 24 points to 20, a win for the Salford Red Devils at the Totally Wicked. Marvellous. Salford's last win against Saints. Before that was round 21 in 2022, 44 points to 12. But of course, Tommy Makinson has been added to the injury list for Saints. So that's interesting as well. Right. What's our thoughts on this one? Like I say, don't count Salford out. In the recent history, the recent past, they have been having a slightly better run against the Saints. And like I say, Tim Lafay, what a pass. Greg, come on, join in the beauty, the glory to Mr. Lafay. Remember that try as you're talking. It'll put a bit into
you don't have to. You do not have to encourage me to wax ridicule about Mr. Lafay. I love the man. A couple of seasons ago, I actually married one of his tries, if you remember. Yeah, those two centres for Saints are magnificent. McDonald and Lafay, absolutely superb. They would walk, I don't care what you say, they would walk into any Super League team, Lafay, McDonald. But having said that, and Salford did a job on Warrington last weekend, I just think Saints will have the edge. I really do. I think Saints should take a lot of fans down there. I'm even considering going myself to watch it because it's only down the road. But I as well as Salford played against us, I don't think Saints, they put 50 past London. I don't really think they got out of second gear. I think they've got a lot more to offer, and I'm going to go 9-17 Saints. I think it will be close, but I think Saints will pull away in the last 20 minutes, 9-17.
Well, Billy there's thrown a right one in. He seems to think that both Ash Hanley and Harry Newman are going to be out for Leeds. That's good news for you, Stef. Does that change your prediction? No, we all went Lee, I think. By the maybe Stef. Stef, Leeds 1-8. No Newman, no Hanley.
Results are relevant in that game for me.
Fair enough. You're going to leave it as it is. Good man. So let's move over then. Tell us about Salford Saints. Stef, how do you see that?
I think this is probably the game of the week for me. I think there's two really, really informed sides, both capable of putting it right up there with the best in Super League for me. So, Salford have obviously got home advantage, but Saints have really come into their own, like a bit under the radar a little bit for me. Sitting quite happily there in first place. So it's got the potential to be an absolute cracker, and barring any official sending offs or stuff like that, I do see it as a Saints win. But I think it could be an absolute cracker. I can't wait to watch this game, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be an absolute belter. But I have gone Saints 9-17. I just think they've got the better squad. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was flipped on its head.
Oh, Dawn Baker, aerial assault by Sneepaps. Love it, Dawn. Didn't do aerial, did we? Oh, Dawn. Lenore. Beautiful stuff. Outstanding. Well done. Bit of more soap powder, eh? But other soap powders are available on the market.
We just got Aldi because we can't afford.
Yeah, with all your travelling, I bet you can.
Well, anyway, Steph, every little helps.
Every little helps, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's definitely Tesco. Not little.
Right, I'm going Saints 9-17.
I like that one.
I'm going Saints 9-17. Gary Schofield's gone Saints 1-8. Joel has gone Saints 1-8. Like I say, fans forum, I'll collate those. I'll put them out well in advance of Thursday's game. It is quiz night.